And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to tonight's show. Tonight's show, we're actually going to be talking about Warner Brothers, about how they have no plans to restore the Snyderverse, nor are they going to be doing anything with the James Wan spin-off movie or any of the other stuff that they had planned with their DC projects. So, the first thing I want to do is just bring us to the main topic real quick, too, with the fact that they have no plans to even restore the Snyderverse or anything like that. And this is what I have to say about that. I thought for sure, even though it wasn't confirmed, that they were going to go on ahead and do anything with Snyder anymore or anything like that. But there was a piece of me that was going to say that was holding out hope, because I was like, okay, if this universe is good, if this universe has positive word of mouth, you know, I was thinking that maybe WB, maybe Snyder might come to an understanding or make a certain deal to where maybe, just maybe, that they'll work with Snyder, make him restore the Snyderverse, and finish out the DCEU more fleshed out, have better fleshed out characters, better plot development, and not only that, but also give us better understanding into certain plots of the other films that we have. But now, on the other hand, it doesn't look that way at all. Fans are clamoring, and plus myself and Charlie are clamoring for them to restore the Snyderverse. As a matter of fact, every single time that you see me, I'm probably going to be tweeting out "Save the Snyderverse" in respect to Snyder himself, because to me, I think he deserves to actually have these movies fleshed out after the hype coming off of uh, this Justice League movie and everything, especially how he was introducing the Injustice plot line as well. So I thought that was also another thing too that they would have actually done. But it comes to no surprise when it comes down to WB. WB is very reactionary when it comes down to certain things. They don't understand what it is that us fans want or anything like that when it comes down to certain material of those films. And not only that, but I feel like this: Warner Brothers used to be the smart company back when these other executives used to be in charge. Now they probably either moved on to other companies or maybe they retired. So therefore, those executives are no longer there anymore. That actually care about the fan service, that cares about the fans or anything like that. Anyways, I understand that it's a business, but at the same time, you actually have to go off of certain things that make money and make sense. I understand that there was bad backlash with the Snyder stuff when it came down to Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel and stuff like that, but they also had their hands in the cookie jar at the same time when it came down to Batman versus Superman, to the point where it was actually all cookie cutter stuff. And then also too with Justice League, when Joss Whedon took over as well, that was also another bad decision, because after that, that's when Warner Brothers went on ahead, got Joss Whedon to actually try and make it just like um, Age of Ultron, just like the Avengers type movie. But you can't do that with those characters in the DC universe. Those DC universe characters are totally different and more complex than what the Marvel characters are. And I feel like if there was positive word of mouth, just like any other movie or any other thing, that they would actually say, okay, Zach, you ended up doing a great job with this thing with HBO Max. You know what? We're going to go ahead. We're going to greenlight you to do some more movies, so that way you can finish off what you did. Then after that, we can start working on other projects aside from that. And I also said this too, that WB needs to stop being reactionary. Now I'm going to say this: they need to learn when to be reactionary and when not to be reactionary. For example, if a movie doesn't do that great at the box office, and then you're going to try and make a spin-off movie for that film that you're trying to create, that is being reactionary, and you don't need to be reactionary when it comes down to that. Now, if a movie is successful, if a movie is pumped out, maybe the characters are fleshed out more and everything else, that is the time to actually start creating your universe. That is the time to start listening to the fans and gearing towards caring about what you're doing. Other than that, if you don't do that, you're gonna look like a minion who's all over the WB building, going be doo and going all over the place, which is what you guys are doing right now. So that's just me and my perspective. But what about your perspective, Charlie? What do you have to say about some of this?
I'm not surprised. I knew going in to Justice League that Warner Brothers wasn't going to continue moving forward. There's been articles; they've already been coming out saying we're not moving forward, and they're kind of like they closed themselves off the whole time while Justice League came out. So even though I knew it ended on a cliffhanger, I knew they weren't going to continue it. I kind of wanted to see them continue it, but I'm not really surprised that Warner Brothers didn't do it, because yet you can come out with crap or better crap of Wonder Woman 1984 and have a 2.5 hour movie that feels like 4 hours. And that one, yeah, it does well on HBO Max, but there's a lot of issues with it. And yet you greenlight a sequel to that, which the first two movies weren't great. They weren't like the best movie ever. I think Aquaman is better than Wonder Woman in terms of a movie. That's me. And that's funny to say because Aquaman used to be the joke, and now he's not the joke. But and to go on your point about them being hands in the cookie jar, yeah, Warner Brothers is like controlling his employees, like they know like it's an organization in the NFL, like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones does the same thing with the Cowboys, controlling his personnel and oh, I don't like that. You need to fix it. Like, oh, I don't like how you've been coaching. You're fired. What they did to Jason Garrett. He's being too controlling with his players. And what have they done lately? Oh yeah, that's right. They haven't done anything. They haven't been they haven't done anything. They've won any Super Bowl since the 1990s. So, and that's probably when the Warner Brothers was successful, the 90s. Anyway, but no, Warner Brothers is too controlling, and it's like you wanted your own Avengers, but then again, you were way too late to the game where Marvel's actually spent. They didn't go right into the team up. They flushed it out in movies. You had 2 Iron Man movies, a Captain America movie, a Thor movie, an Iron Man movie. You had 5 movies prior to getting to the Avengers. And what did DC do? You had 1 Superman movie, and then you did the team up with Dawn of Justice, and then so you essentially 3 movies where you need to flesh everything out. Like they should have done the Wonder Woman movie before Dawn of Justice, or done the 2 movies before in times of timelines, and then lead to the team up movie. And it's like, and unfortunately, it's not just DC. Warner Brothers has been getting their hands dirty in. Just recently, Godzilla versus Kong. You had many people have been telling you and complaining and bad reviews of issues saying there's too much human interaction. There's too many humans. No one cares about the humans. Godzilla, too many humans. Godzilla didn't show up until it's an hour and 50 movie. Let's just say Godzilla shows up maybe an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, and it's an hour and 50 minutes. Okay? You have a movie called Godzilla, and he doesn't show up until almost like the end of the movie. King of Monsters, 2.5 hour movie. What happens? Oh yeah, humans take over for about 2 hours, and there's only 30 minutes of monsters fighting, and it's too dark. And then you hear the complaints. Okay, 2.5 hours. Well, how we fix it? All right, let's make an hour and 50 minutes, an hour and 55, which is really the length of the movie is really an hour and 45. And okay, all right, are we going to improve on the monster fight? Okay, no, let's just show the trailer with monsters fighting. And when the movie comes out, we get Journey to the Center of the Earth plot lines, which no one cares about. We get Stranger Things plot line, which doesn't make sense and it was very poorly shot. And you get humans. No one cares about
the center of the earth.
Yeah, right. No one cares about the humans, and humans were the main part of the movie. Like the first battle sequence didn't happen. Like the first fight sequence between Kong and Godzilla that you kept hyping up in the trailer. Oh, it's monsters, monsters, monsters. Humans were ruining that fight scene. It was punch, human, choke, human, drowning, back to humans, and that's the end of the fight. That was pretty much what it was. The only fight scene was the Tokyo one, which is an hour and 22 minutes into the movie. Then again, when I remind you, it's only an hour and 45, so that's like 20 minutes. Like it was like only a 2-minute fight sequence, and that was no human interaction. Really, you're promising this, and you're only giving us 2 minutes of fight sequences? Come on, Warner Brothers, you know the issue. Oh, and just recently, you know your reactionary thing is, oh yeah, you waited 25 years to do a sequel to Space Jam that no one wanted. No one wanted this piece of crap sequel that's coming out in July. No one wants to see LeBron James be such a wuss and have to. Oh, I need to summon a team. I need to summon a team of Superman, Iron Man, because I'm a wuss. And well, Michael Jordan won with Zach Newman and Bill Murray. That's what the team that Michael Jordan was able to win. And yet, and then, and your whole, we need to get rid of Pepe Le Pew and that stuff. Yeah, you do have in the trailer images of the Clockwork Orange people are in your trailer of Space Jam. Seriously, no one wanted a freaking sequel to this. You're being reaction like this. I hope this movie flops to prove that no one cared about Space Jam. Like the first Space Jam wasn't the best, wasn't a masterpiece, but did it warrant a sequel 25 years later? No. What's the next thing to do? You're going to force Disney to do a sequel to Cool Runnings? No. Nobody wanted a Space Jam. But yeah, we need to do Space Jam. I'm like, no. And like again, you're ripping off Ready Player One. Ready Player One was great, and that's what it made sense. Not having the Iron Giant for the sake of having the Iron Giant where it doesn't make sense for the plot. Just because all the characters want to watch the game? No. Like, come on, Warner Brothers, get your head out of your ass. You're like Disney right now.
You see, for me, with Kong and everything, this is based off of what I said and when we did the review. I felt like that wasn't Warner Brothers with their hands in the jar or anything like that. That's just me and my personal perspective on it. But because of the fact that we got every single one of those scenes that we got in the trailer and everything, I feel like that they gave us exactly what was in the trailer. It was just not the movie that we were anticipating on because of the fact that it showed us more monsters fighting. But they did give us every single thing that was in the trailer, which is something that I can respect. But at the same time, it was also a letdown because of the anticipation level that we were both on, expecting something out of it. The whole entire Space Jam thing, though, to myself, it's not a masterpiece of a film. This first one's definitely not a masterpiece of the film. You actually have Michael Jordan, who retired twice and everything, and the other time too, he was also going through whenever he was going through his baseball career, and his baseball career was not the greatest. And then he winds up coming back out of retirement for the second time, and then that's when you decided to go ahead and make a very first Space Jam movie. It was very memorable. You actually have the cartoon characters and everything else that we fell in love with. 25 years later is too late. I feel like that it's too little, too late. I don't feel like there was any need to even put any of your Warner Brothers properties inside this movie at all. I've heard rumors that Stephen King's It is going to be in this movie, maybe as a referee, maybe as an audience member or something around that area. And for them to just incorporate their Warner Brothers properties and to basically, if this is where all your budget went towards, was finding the special effects to put certain things in that trailer just for the sake of having those characters in there without any involvement with LeBron or any type of things to anticipate us on, then this movie's not any good. And here's the thing: I don't hope for a movie to feel or anything like that. I want a movie to succeed as much as the next person. It's just from a trailer output and everything. When we did our trailer reaction, I was let down with the whole entire Space Jam legacy thing as well. And like you said, you had Bill Murray in this movie. You actually had the guy who played Newman, who was also part of Seinfeld and everything during that time. And now you don't have those go-to people anymore like you used to back in the 90s, where you can actually go to those kind of actors or whatever. And not only that, but even basketball players now have changed. It used to be Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman in the 90s. Then you also have Patrick Ewing. You actually had other basketball players that you can actually use for your universe that you're trying to create. And that's where they came up with the idea for Space Jam, because they actually had the faces of the basketball associations. You actually had, for example, Patrick Ewing. You actually had the other guy from the Charlotte Hornets and everything at that time as well. Then you also have Michael Jordan. You have these special people with those special talents, and then they're putting into that basketball for them to actually win. This was just a total letdown on that part, because on this area right now for the legacy of Space Jam.
like I mean, the other basketball players they have in there, like they're good players, but would they be like legacy? Like Klay Thompson is supposed to be one of the guys on the Goon squad. But Klay Thompson's like been dealing with injuries for a while now on the Golden State Warriors. Damian Lillard, Portland hasn't done anything lately. I mean, I forgot who else is, but having it in your movie when it's supposed to be a kid movie, it's gonna scare the crap out of kids. Like even technically seeing the Clockwork Orange people are gonna scare the crap out of kids because they're not friendly people, and having them front and center like in the background as one of the people watching the game. Come on, and have Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not a kid's show, and to have them promoted as a world in the Space Jam in this network universe, no, like nothing from Game of Thrones is for kids. It's not a kid thing, but you're promoting it as it is. Like, come on, like Ready Player One was not a kid movie. That was a PG-13 movie, and yet there's a lot of similarities between. Oh yeah, we need Warner Brothers. Let's redo Ready Player One again, which you shouldn't, because that was a great movie to begin with. And let's just reuse the stuff they used for this movie, just because even it doesn't make sense. Nah, let's just do it. And I think, like I said, the problem, like why I think Warner Brothers was too handsy with Gone, is people know we didn't want the humans, but they didn't care. They put the humans in there anyway, knowing that we know when we watch the trailer, there was this deep inclination. We knew the humans are going to be front and center of this movie. I knew it. Like I said, I got a feeling that they were going to do it because they haven't stirred away from it from the get-go, and that's the third movie. If they really wanted to do a perfect blend, Skull Island, perfect example, was how they perfectly blended the humans and the monsters. That's the perfect, well, not perfect, but the best, close to perfect example of monsters, like best like transition from like chemistry, or not chemistry, like screen time, similar amounts.
Right.
And
sharing the same screen with humans and also with the fighting and everything with the monsters.
And like I said, and then like on Warner Brothers, you kept promoting it like Godzilla or that, but yet the movie that you didn't flush out how did Kong get into the facility? Why does Godzilla hate Kong? Do you bother to fill any of this stuff out? No, because you just kept promoting it. Monsters fighting. There was not much, and then like Godzilla's only in the movie for like 20 minutes. It's not
another thing too is I sent you an article about the James Wan stuff though too.
Yeah.
That I want to touch on.
Yeah.
I know I touched on it a little bit, but I want to go into a little bit more detail with it.
Yeah. The trench one I was like kind of intrigued on because I wanted to learn more about that.
You see, you want to know the trenches and everything? Read the New 51 Aquaman, because that's where the Jason Momoa version comes from, is the New 51.
Okay.
And the trenches are actually part of that universe, and that's what James Wan was trying to do, was trying to implement that.
But yeah, like I said, I mean that one was the one I was probably intrigued on. I wasn't really keen on Ava DuVernay's. I'm not really a huge fan of her director. I mean, I think she did one Disney movie that was a huge flop, was A Wrinkle in Time. She directed that one. I heard that one was like a huge bomb. Like it was very bad. So I was very like hesitant with her as a director. I mean, she's made some not great stuff, but then again, like I said, I didn't even know she was directing the movie, to be honest. That's how little Warner Brothers was promoting this stuff. I think if I had to choose between the one like New Gods or The Trench, honestly, I'd probably be interested in The Trench.
Right. And here's the thing. But like I said, I wanted to see The Trenches because of the fact they had James Wan attached to it, who's a horror director. And The Trenches is the most horrifying monsters beneath the ocean floor that you can actually get. And James Wan is the perfect one to do something horror related like that. Yeah. Aside from Andre Muschietti, which I think would be another good fit for him to do something like that, because look what he did with it. But when you look at James Wan, number one, they're not going to interfere with James Wan because James Wan is a cash cow. They know that people are going to go see this movie. They know that people are going to go on ahead and spend that money into the theaters to go and see. But like I said, The Trenches is one of my favorite things about Aquaman, And I feel like the 3 for 3, if you actually think about it, whenever you look at the DCU universe, you have Shazam, you have Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. You have 3 characters that are 3 for 3 in the DCU universe, while you actually have 2 other characters who are not really received well, especially the cracking of the neck of Zod. But I understood why Superman had to kill Zod. And
Yeah.
why, and to me, it was actually needed. I felt like that I understood why they did it, but it was still controversial to the point that it caused a division among film fans and critics. Same thing with the DCU. It also split that up. So there's that as well. But still, you have positive word of mouth now with Zack Snyder, with everything that he's done with this extended universe. Whenever you look at this Justice League movie that just hit for 4 hours and everything, and it was perfect. Everything was needed that was there. There was no questions, no unanswered questions or anything like that. It all connected cohesively together. I really felt like that it needed to be that long in order for us to get some type of backstory and
Yeah.
everything. But Warner Brothers needs to get their heads out of their asses and stop being reactionary when it comes down to it. Because, like I said, I was just holding out hope. I was just holding out hope. Okay, what happens if a movie is a slow burn kind of movie where it doesn't really make that much money, but then you start talking about it, and then get this, positive word of mouth happens, and that movie winds up being a box office #1. That's what happened with Edge of Tomorrow. That's what happened with the John Wick movie and everything, because John Wick was not even, get this, John Wick was not even promoted until maybe a week or 3 days before the actual release date of John Wick. Guess what? Everybody went out to see John Wick, and positive word of mouth got around, and guess what? It became the #1 movie of that summer. And then they did sequels because it made money, because they told them, hey, look, there's an audience for this. That's what Warner Brothers needed to do with this. There's positive word of mouth going on. There's that, and it's good traction going on. Well, we need to go on ahead here while the iron is hot. And that's what I thought was going to happen. I was wrong. It's not going to be the first time that I'm wrong about anything. But I'm hoping that because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's actually going out there wanting it to be done right with finishing up the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
And then you also have other actors that's glamoring for it. Maybe Warner Brothers might wake the hell up. But
Maybe.
then you also have, now they're actually, to me, this is just them trying to cover stuff up because of the fact they're Xing everything out. Think of it like this. They're soft rebooting the Suicide Squad, which is a soft reboot, which also tells me that they're trying to kill off everything that they're doing with the DCEU and focus on new ways of telling stories. And then also, too, they're bullshitting their ways around everything by saying, oh, guess what? Instead of us doing Flashpoint, because I bet 2-1, in a couple of weeks or a month or so, Anthony Muschietti is no longer going to be attached to the Flash again. There's not going to be a director that's going to be for the Flash, and Ezra Miller is not going to be attached to the Flash anymore either. And that Flashpoint movie is going to be no more. And that's because of the fact that they're putting a new universe together and calling it Earth 3. And therefore, they're going to say, oh, the DCU universe with Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, and Ray Fisher, and Ben Affleck, and everything. Guess what? That's no more. We're putting that off to the side. We're just going to call this Earth 3 and everything. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fact that they're Xing all these other things out and putting that in.
I don't think
What do you
they're.
think?
I don't think they're necessarily doing that. I think, like I said, they're already Aquaman 2 is happening. I mean, because that was a huge success, and that they're not dropping that because they already confirmed that they're doing Aquaman 2.
Yeah, but they also confirmed that they're doing the Flashpoint movie too.
That one still works. I mean, I think they're filming that now. I think they're like that when they're in the process of filming that now because they just had like the dad dropped out.
Right.
Like I said, they already announced that on Earth 2 is technically where Robert Pattinson's Batman is. Obviously, I mean, I think it's supposed to be out next year. The Flash is next year, next November. So I really don't think that director would be dropping out this early. Let me see.
But also too, if they're going to go that route, and let's just say, for instance, that Flashpoint does happen, that's actually a perfect way to actually introduce Earth 3. Then you can do away with the other parts of the DCU. But at the same time, though, to me, I like here's the thing. I liked the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought it was really good. The second movie, not so much. I thought there was really big plot holes. Then again, you're going to have plot holes no matter what. But I really thought there was some bad execution with certain things that happened in that movie. I didn't like the design for the cheetah makeup or anything like that with the CGI, but that's a little small stuff. I also felt like there was like a part in the mall where it was like Wonder Woman on ice. And then there's also some other stuff within that Wonder Woman 1984 that I really didn't care for, but I was rooting for the fact that it was going to be good. And it wasn't as good as the first movie, but I still say that Warner Brothers is 3 for 3 when it comes down to their DCEU properties. Whenever you look at Shazam, when you look at Aquaman, and then of course when you look at Wonder Woman, those are your 3 heavy hitters.
Yeah. So apparently they're gonna this article came out in January. It says put the Flash again Rocky, but the Flash will begin filming on the Flash will begin in the United Kingdom at Warner Brothers Studios. Levisden on April 26th, because already somebody the Muschietti and his sister and producing partner Barbara Muschietti has already arrived in the UK, ready to bring the Flash to the big screen. So that one, I mean, we're about 23 days, and they're going to start filming this. So
right, I know that Shazam 2 is going to be happening, and also Black Adam, but not necessarily. You don't really need to actually have Gal Gadot or Ray Fisher or anything like that in that universe or anything like that. They can just make it separate just for that, for the Black Adam movie and for Shazam. So really, they don't need to have those characters connect with their characters unless it's going to be Gal Gadot. That'll be the only one that I can actually see being a part of that universe because she's a goddess. She's an Amazonian goddess.
Yeah,
but that's just me speculating that they might not even go through with some of the other projects that they might actually if they are going to be filming the Aquaman, and then also who knows, they might actually just keep these the Flash movie, the Gods movie, not the Gods movie, but Shazam 2, and stuff like that. They might just keep that and just forget about everything else.
So, along as Suicide Squad comes out August 6th, The Batman is next March 2022. Black Adam's July 29th, 2022. They said the rest of the Justice League will unfold on November 4th, 2022, which will usher in a new wave of interconnected DC stories throughout 2022-2023 with Aquaman 2. So, potential Aquaman 2 might be out next year as well. So, I mean, they're going to be probably filming that soon. Shazam is June 2nd, 2023. Then they got Blue Beetle, Supergirl, Green Lantern Corps, and Static Shock. So again, and then additionally, development is underway on previously announced title Superman, Zatanna, and Wonder Woman 3.
But yeah, the Green Lantern Corps is going to actually be on HBO Max. It's going to be a TV series for that.
Yeah.
I'm also excited for Blue Beetle, though, to be honest with you. I'm excited about that.
So they said it's supposed to start filming for Aquaman 2 this June, with the mysterious working title Necrus.
That's going to be interesting.
So yeah, James Wan, sequel to the movie starring Jason Momoa, was quickly announced to be released by the end of 2022. So, and then I think they're working on the cast for it now. But obviously, if that one's going to start filming in the summer, I mean, like I said, I think like Shazam, I'm not worried about. They're already continuing working on it because they just hired Helen Mirren to join the cast for that. So I'm not worried about. Flash, we're 23 days away from it starting to film, so I'm not too concerned. Like Barry Allen's dad. It's interchangeable. He's in prison. Nothing's going to change with that. So,
I wouldn't mind if they got like the father from the TV series, because I felt like his character really connected with me more than what Barry's that version of Justice League. Because if you can actually make me cry on a father-son level on a TV show when it comes down to that scene, you're doing something right with that character. I don't care how many times I've seen that meme, Barry Allen visiting his father in prison. Every single time I go back to that scene, waterfalls start happening. So
Yeah. But then, like I said, I mean, we'll see what happens with the other stuff. But I think we're this close. I think the Flash is happening. I don't know what else what Warner Brothers would do. I mean, like I said, but I mean, the fact that like I said, there's different Earths. So and then they said Ben Affleck's character is going to have to be a huge part to the Flash movie. So that's something to look at. But a lot of DC movies is next year. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. This year seems to be Marvel. Even technically next year is Marvel too. There's a lot of 2022 movies.
Not so much Marvel though, if you think about it, because think of it like this: Marvel stuff has been basically on a smaller screen.
Yeah, but I'm talking movies. You got like we're getting pretty big movies.
I get what you're saying, but this is me, and we can go back to it and everything too. But I feel like this, like all the Marvel stuff that we've been getting, is just on a smaller screen, on a smaller scale. We are getting a Black Widow movie coming out this month. That's like the only DC property that we're getting so far.
Well, yeah. So we got Falcon. Then we don't have anything in May. June we got Loki. July is Black Widow. September is a Shang-Chi, legend that which might have ties to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So those two movies right there. November we got Eternals. December we got Spider-Man. So those are that, and then in 2022 is I'm pretty sure the Thor is in 2022. Doctor Strange I think is in 2022.
But let's see here. This is what I was trying to go with, was the fact that while Marvel is doing their rebuilding with their building blocks, this is the chance for DC to shine through their movie universe and everything. Forget about catching up. You're never going to catch up to Marvel or anything like that.
No.
Their job is right now just to get some of the garbage that we've been getting and everything with certain things and make a good movie and everything without the involvement of the executives. And that's pretty much the only goal that they can set right now, is the fact, okay, Marvel's done with all their phases. They're still having those building blocks. Yes, they're pushing out content, but it's not as heavy as it was during all those other phases. So therefore, while they're rebuilding, we can start pushing out our content and everything, and hopefully fans will flock to it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, DC's in a rut right now. I mean, like I said, they're not coming out with TV. They just came out with Justice League, and that's about it until we're next year. So there's nothing else big from them. Well, they had Wonder Woman. That was end of last year, beginning of this year,
which was back in December. Yeah.
Yeah, and both Justice League and Wonder Woman are the highest on HBO Max. Like Wonder Woman's the highest over Justice League, highest viewed and like the opening time period. I don't know. Like I said, I think, and then next year it's not going to get any easier for DC. Yeah, DC's got a bunch of those movies out, but Marvel's got a lot of big ones too. I mean, I just saw Doctor Strange is in March, and then May Thor. Then I think, and then I saw Black Panther 2 was in July. Then I saw Captain Marvel was one of them. That was November of 2022. There might be other ones too, and then they said potentially Blade 2022, but that's probably gonna be later. But there's some pretty other, and I think, I'm trying to remember. There might be other ones that come out in 2022, but I mean that's all I got right now. But there's some pretty big ones, like in the span of 3 months, that Marvel's got. Doctor Strange and Thor. Those are going to be big ones.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what DC's got. I mean, like I said, you got all those movies, so they got to hit on at least all of them.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, next year you got the Batman going up against Doctor Strange. I probably, like, if I had to put, like I said, I think I could see DC moving that one out because Doctor Strange 2 is probably going to make a lot more money than the Batman. to be honest.
I could see that in a way because I know that Batman draws in the crowd, but you also have, you have Doctor Strange. You have him in a nightmare kind of situation
And
where
it's the
your big villain
continuation of
is nightmare.
WandaVision. And we got
Right,
multiverse because
right.
Spider-Man's going to kick it off in December, and that's going to spark the multiverse. And you got Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange 2. Sam Raimi's good at not only just comic book movies, but the horror elements. So there's going to be some scary elements. So you got that built-in crowd because people that watched WandaVision knows that there's going to be continuation from WandaVision into Doctor Strange. And that's what they've been announcing, that if you need to watch WandaVision to pick up on the stuff. And we haven't seen anything from the Batman since the last trailer that came out. And like I said, I'm interested. I mean, I'm intrigued at what Robert Pattinson's going to do. But everybody else in it, I don't like the casting for Catwoman. I don't think that one's going to be that was a great of a choice. I don't think they should have had Catwoman in this because we got a good Catwoman. That was Anne Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises. I don't think we need to keep seeing different itinerations of Catwoman. That we're seeing of Batman. Like I said, and then sure, Colin Farrell might be good as the Penguin, but I mean, I don't know. That one's just got, and it's not going to be like cut and dry Batman. It's supposed to be more of a detective movie, so I could see that one being R-rated.
Right, and not only that, but we're also dealing with the Riddler in this one, though, too.
Yeah. So I don't know. That one's got a lot of question marks on it, and I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I don't know if, like I said, that's why I'm not glad it's the main Batman universe. It's a separate one. Because, like I said, I mean, I saw the trailer, him punching the guy. Sure, that was cool. I need to see more because I'm personally not impressed.
Yeah, this is going to be your year one Batman, but from and everything by the looks of it, especially the car, it's going to be a year one Batman. So that's actually part of the comic books line, though, too, where he does accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know exactly what he's going to do with being Batman. And I think from then on, after he kills that person, that's when he winds up being the Cape Crusader that we know and everything. But the Anne Hathaway one was good, don't get me wrong, but it was also about realism when it came down to the Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
This
Well, I
is
wasn't
dealing
talking about the whole movie in general. There's some flaws with the movie. I just liked her portrayal of Catwoman.
her portrayal was good.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's why I said we don't need another Catwoman in this year one thing. And like I said, I don't think the casting was great for it, to be honest. That's just me personally. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I don't think she fits the personality as Catwoman.
But we also haven't seen her act in anything, though, either. We haven't seen her act in any movies.
I've seen her in a couple other ones, and she's not. Yeah, she was in that. I think that Zoe Kravitz. I think she was in that one movie with Scarlett Johansson about the bride to be, like the bachelor party. She was one of the friends in that one. She was kind of annoying in that, and I think she might have been in that Death Proof. No, not Death Proof. I don't think she was in that. It was somebody else. Like I keep getting her and Zoe Bell mixed up. Zoe Bell's fine. Zoe Kravitz is. I don't know. I think she's just annoying.
Now with the Penguin thing, I did hear that they are going to put makeup on Colin Farrell.
Yeah, that one I'm intrigued on. I like Colin Farrell, so he might play a good Penguin.
Yeah, because from what I heard was, and I forgot who saw the makeup, but he was in one of the trailers getting some actor was in a trailer, and he happened to see the Penguin makeup, and there is actual Penguin makeup in the transformation of the Penguin that we know from the comics that Colin Farrell's going to be. So he's not going to be Colin Farrell outside the makeup. So you are going to have some special effects with that. So that's something that I can actually appreciate, the fact that you are going to get a transformation with Colin Farrell as the Penguin, as well Cobblepot. So
yeah, I mean, I think he will be good as that. I think Don Turturro would be fine as Carmine. I'm interested in Jeffrey White as James Gordon.
Me too. I liked him. I like him as an actor.
Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. I don't know.
That's gonna be interesting.
he's creepy. So I don't want that. I mean, like, we'll see. Like, I think Colin Farrell will probably be the highlight of this movie. We'll see. Some other movies Zoe Kravitz was in. She was in the Fantastic Beast movie. I think she played Lita Lestrange, and she was not really memorable in that one. To be honest, that's just me. She also voiced Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie, which is it's an anime movie, so it's hard to tell. She also voiced Mary Jane Watson in Into the Spider-Verse. Again, it was just a voice. I don't know. I'm not really keen on her as Selena Kyle. When I found out that she was it, I was like, oh really? I was kind of disappointed that she was Catwoman, because I think there could have been other, like, kind of wanted to see like other people portray Catwoman. There could have been a lot of other better choices, but that's just my personal opinion.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you wanted to add as far as the topic or anything else goes?
No. I'm just expecting a lot. Maybe, like, hopefully we get some the heavy hitters. Wonder Woman, we'll see, is to be determined if they're going to be a heavy hitter. They've been one hit and one semi check mark, not fully a check mark. It was like in between, better than the first, but not great. So we'll see what Wonder Woman 3 does. They really need to make it present. Like, I'm tired of the past stuff. Like, you've done the last two movies. Make it present. Make it correlated what's going on. I'm tired of the past. Let's get, and then have her fight real people. Like I said, have more fight sequences, more action, not melodramas. Like, I'm tired of this melodrama crap. Like get on with it. Like, I know Aquaman 2 is gonna be great. Aquaman 1 visually was like really cool looking. It was like, yeah, Aquaman 1 was great. Shazam was fantastic. It was funny, and like, I'm excited to see where that continues. And of course, I'm excited for Black Adam, and I'm excited to see that. So hopefully they can get some more hits, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. Well, that's going to be it for the show and everything. I hope everybody did enjoy it. Basically, I'm just going to go on here and jump off of you for a minute. I am excited for Black Adam. I'm excited for Shazam 2. I'm excited for some of the other stuff in the DC properties and seeing what they have in store for us. I'm hoping that the Warner Brothers does learn from their mistakes, and that the fact that they don't need to put their hand in the cookie jar anymore and let the artists do their jobs. Because that's like me hiring a painter to do my house, and then the painter is doing their job, and I'm saying, oh, no, you're doing that wrong. Let me show you how to do the job that I hired you to do. So that's what I feel like that the executives are doing. Another thing too, guys, is this. You want to go on ahead and subscribe and like to our channel. And also, too, go on ahead and rate us on the audio podcast at Apple Podcasts. And you can get this episode and many other episodes on the audio podcast wherever you guys get your podcast at. Also, too, if you want to donate to the page, how do you do that? You just go on ahead, go to www.gofundme.com/movie podcast and donate a couple of dollars towards us with that. Show us some love. Also, too, underneath the same brand at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite, you can follow us there on Facebook, and also too on Instagram, and of course on Pinterest. You can also follow me on Twitter at Movie Lovers Unit, and also too underneath the same name on Stereo at Movie Lovers Unit over there. If you want to get in touch with me, all you have to do is email me at movieloversunite@gmail.com. And then, of course, for all your entertainment needs and wants, just go to www.movieloversunite.com. And always, until next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. I can't wait to do this again. Also, too, tomorrow's Easter. So we're not going to be doing a show tomorrow. Spend time with your family. If you guys don't have families or whatever, go on ahead and check us out on the YouTube channel or on the audio podcast. Tell us what you think about the show. Give us some love. Give us a thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up. Smash that share button. And always, until next time, guys. Bye.